Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece,
I'm Dammy.
and we're glad to have you today. Today is Sunday, the 4th of July, 2021, and this is episode 450. Woohoo! We'd like to say big welcome back. We love y'all. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers, thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. Dammy and I are not in the same place. We're in the same city still. Dammy is pet and house sitting. So we are recording over Zoom today. So do you have anything, any announcements?
No.
I don't think so
Elderly animals are difficult to deal with.
That can be true. That can be very true. Well, we've got quite a bit to talk about, including announcing the April, May, June RAL winners and lots of other stuff. So we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on her needles.
So I'm knitting on this week's preemie hat, but I won't show you that till next week. But what else I've been knitting on in my Nerdbird Makery bag, which I love so much. Sorry, I'm sitting at my desk and I've got like all this stuff. I am knitting a birthday cowl for my nephew, Wyatt. I'm using the Oats cowl by Tin Can Knits, which is a free pattern, great cowl pattern, highly recommend it. I'm on US 8's 5mm needles, and okay, so this yarn, the blue, is Vitellana by Knit Crate Ambient worsted in the Michelangelo colorway. I think that's right. And I had this problem last week too. I don't know which is which. One of them is Vitellana by Knit Crate Ambient worsted in the Michelangelo colorway, and the other is Vitellana by Knit Crate Celestial in the Ganymede colorway. So
Ganymede, I would think, would be the blue one.
Maybe.
But that's just how my brain works.
No, hold on just a second, because the Ganymede is actually the gray, because the blue came in 50-gram skeins. And so I just looked, Michelangelo. So, okay, so Michelangelo and Ganymede. So I'm doing I think the child large pattern, because y'all saw a couple last week I showed that I had finished the same pattern for my niece Lola, but hers drapes down much further just because of the amount of yarn I had. But also I thought for the boys that they might prefer something that's just kind of closer fitting around the neck. So in order to maximize the amount of this gray with blue undertone, can you see the blue yarn that I have, I'm using a contrast color for the ribbing. So I have this much yarn left. I would guesstimate I'm probably about halfway through the gray. So I'm just going to keep going with the gray until I run out, and then I will do the top ribbing in the blue. And then I'll be doing the exact same thing for my other nephew, Waylon, but with a darker blue for the ribbing. But as you can see, it's garter stitching the round for a third of it, and then stockinette stitching the round for the rest. And that is what I have been knitting on this week. Yeah. So, but I do have an FO. Oh, I didn't grab it. I'll grab it. I do have an FO, so let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project.
So here is my preemie hat. This is number 26 for the year, so this is halfway through the year, Dammy. Halfway through the preemie hats for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on our website.
JavaPearlDesigns.com.
I did it on US 6s, and I used Lily Sugar and Cream. The turquoises one is Swimming Pool, and this one is Squishy Twist. And this is 100% cotton yarn, because some babies are allergic to wool. So I don't even remember why I originally bought this yarn, but I've made several preemie hats with the leftovers over the years, and
I think it was given to you.
it may have been. So, yeah. So this will go in the bag to be donated. Yeah. So there's that one, and then I'm working on one right now in pink sparkly yarn with like a mint green. So, this will put me into the second half of the year of preemie hats. So, that is the only thing I finished this week, but we have more stuff to talk about. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. What you working on, Dammy?
Well, I've just done 3 whole stitches on this since the last time I worked on it, so.
Right, but you've made a bunch of progress on it since you were on 2 weeks ago. Because you worked on it last week and you weren't on. You were on 2 weeks ago. And then you've worked on it a lot since you last showed it. Because you've worked on it more than just now since you last showed it.
I don't remember that.
Yes, you did. So show it again because you've made a bunch of progress. Yeah, you've made a lot of progress on it.
Sure.
Those colors are beautiful. I love the different shades. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a rose bookmark that came for free in something in the mail. And I'm making it. I've just switched the colors around to be shades of reds and pinks.
Alrighty. Let me set my knitting down and I will show you what I've worked on. Okay. In my I Am No Bird and No Net Ensnares Me Jane Eyre bag that I got from Black Needle Society, I am working on what I'm showing on the screen. This is Dreaming Girl by Barbara Anna Designs. And I am stitching it on Fiber on a Whim, 14 count Ada in the lipstick colorway. And that's from Black Needle Society box, and the needle minder is from a Black Needle Society box. So here's where I'm at. Let me just fold it. Okay. So since I saw y'all last, I finished the dark in the hair. So can you see all the little elements in the hair? And then I've started the dark underneath the hair. And it's going to have I think it has leaves and acorns and such. So that's why there's those chunks right there of not stitched. So, I did not make as much progress on this as I had hoped to this week. As I told y'all last week, we were in the middle of a heat wave, and it got up to 108 on Monday, and I ended up with a heat-induced migraine, and I had to go to my doctor and have an injection to help with it because it was that bad. But better that than me having to go to the hospital, which I've had to do in the past. So, but it cut into my stitching time because I felt hungover almost all week after the injection. Fun times. However, knocking on all the wood, they had said that this heat wave wasn't going to break until the 7th. But instead of it being in the 90s as they were predicting, it's been in the lower 80s. And a little bit into the upper 70s, which is nice. So, but heat. It's no joke. Okay, other thing I'm working on in my Woody the Pooh Knit Run Dig project bag, I am working on Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. All the details for everything I use is in the show notes at
GGKCS.com.
And I'm doing this on, I think it's on a 25 count, easy grid, easy something, but it's gridded. So here's where I'm at. Because I showed you last week that I had taken it out of the Q Snap and moved it over. So this past week I did these 2 squares. So I'm doing the 25/7 challenge, where I'm knitting 25 stitches a day every day, and 50 stitches one day, so that I finish 2 full squares a week. So on Friday night, when I finished that square, because then those are my 25 stitches from yesterday. But on Friday night, when I had finished the second square, I was at 33,800 stitches out of 265,824 complete, which puts me at 12.715% complete. And I was talking to my mama yesterday. We FaceTime on Saturdays, and she was like, I can't believe you still only have completed 6 out of 60 pages with that many stitches. It feels like you should have completed more pages than that. And I was like, well, let me just look. So I pulled out the pattern to look. And after I finish this column, there's 2 more full columns, and then 2 columns of stitches. So not like another full column of squares. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's going to be like 12 weeks or so before I finish page 7. So, but that's okay, because 25 stitches is more than 0 stitches. And so I am making progress. I was telling Dammy, it's so easy up to do the things up here till I get to about like right here. And then, because it only uses usually like 2, 3, 4 colors maybe. And then you get down here and it's all the confetti, where you're using, you know, some squares, 25 colors to make the castle. So, but I am making progress. I have not done my 25 stitches yet today. But I will. I will. There is cross-stitch content in Yummies, so you should stick around. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Sammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So first up, let me get it out. I forgot to get it out. I ordered a custom size sleeve from Love You More Studios, and I got to pick the fabric. I ordered it and had it sent to them. So I used this Gilmore Girls fabric on the outside. And then on the inside, it's hard to show you, but because I would have to take it out. But it's coffee cups, which felt appropriate for Gilmore Girls. So the reason I wanted this custom size sleeve is inside here, I'm not going to take it out, is a secondary screen for my laptop. So when I work remotely, I need a second screen just because of how our workflow is set up. So I bought this one that folds down, but it didn't come with a case. And so I ordered this custom sleeve from them, and it came this week. And I'm glad to have something to protect it, because I was always worrying that I was going to break it because it didn't have any protection. So yeah. So if you want a custom size sleeve or a regular sleeve, like here's another one of theirs that I have. This one was a gift from Michelle Bendy Stitchy. They're made to be book sleeves. So, you know, I've got a book in here. And they also have smaller size. I have a smaller sized one beside the bed that has my 5-year journal in it. So highly recommend these. Love them for keeping physical books from getting all yucky in your bag. And they're just fun. So I love them very much. The link to their shop is in the show notes. And they are the same people as Black Needle Society. So there you go. Also, so this past week, actually, I think it was last Sunday after I recorded, maybe, Abby of Top Knot Stitcher Shop released a free pattern called They Them. I'm putting it up on the screen right now. And I have a link in the show notes to get the pattern. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it so much. And I think what I might do, and it's very small, so it's not going to take a whole lot of time to stitch. But what I thought I might do, Dammy, was figure out the DMC colors for the non-binary flag and for the lesbian flag, and do one for each of us. And use, you know, so I can keep they, them on yours, and then I'll do she, her on mine. I thought it might be a fun little thing to like put up in my cubicle at work. because we're trying to be, the hospital is working really hard to become more inclusive in that way, and making sure that we're using both our coworkers' pronouns correctly, as well as the patients. So the patients now can tell us their pronouns in their like online My Chart thing. They can put their pronouns in, and when I like open up a medical account or medical record to like call a family, or if a family calls in or whatever, it has the pronouns there for me so that I can use the appropriate pronouns. So I thought I might make mine just put it up in my cubicle at work, just as a reminder. So you should definitely check out the pattern. It's very, very pretty. And yeah, I need to pull out some fabric and stitch it, but I need to figure out the right colors for the flags. Because I'm going to keep the one that's the Rainbow Pride one the same, but I'm going to change the transgender one to the non-binary and to the lesbian. So that'll be fun. So I'm going to do that at some point. So do you have any yummies to share?
No.
Surrounded by animals?
Mm-hmm.
Is that enjoyable?
Sure.
Except for
when they're not being stinky.
So how old is the dog?
Older.
What kind of dog?
10 maybe.
You know what kind of dog he is?
I don't know.
I would assume with the name
a yellow one.
I would assume golden retriever, just from the name.
She's not a golden retriever. She's too curly for that.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's 2 cats.
Yes.
Do you know how
black and white?
They're both black and white?
Yes.
What's their names?
Sean and Gus.
Are they Psych fans?
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I didn't make the connection when you told me the names earlier. That's fabulous. Pink is looking at me like, Mama, what the crap are you doing? I'm talking to your Dammy. Dammy's on the pewter. You're going to have to come say hi in a minute. Alrighty. Well, I think that's everything for Yummies, so let's move on to the next segment.
Hello, Chumby Bunny.
Hello, people. I come to tell you what I've been reading, watching, and listening to. Uh-oh. I think that doggy is barking. The doggy barking?
No, I was trying to call Gus.
Oh. So I've been watching The Back of My Eyelids.
Mm-hmm.
But also I was watching show with Mama yesterday, and her kept crying.
Oh.
And I don't know how to read. And I listened to the podcasters with Mama. Makes me listen. I had no choice. It's very sad. You say hi to Dammy? Here's Dammy. Hi, Dammy. I miss you, Dammy. You come home to me soon?
Yes.
Okay. Don't love those other cats more than you love me.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, people. I'm going to go take a nap, another one, because that's all I do is take naps. Okay. Bye-bye. There you go, honey. She's like, how dare you pick me up off the bed? I was going to take a nap, like a queen. Oh, now she's just standing here angrily waving her tail at me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you angry that Mama got you off the bed? You can jump back up there. You know how. Silly girl. Okay, what are we doing, Dammy?
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading?
I've not started reading this book.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it's called Blood, Water, Paint by Joy McCullough.
Yeah, you're going to have to get started on that if you're going to finish it before school.
Uh-huh.
But I know you're taking a break. School just got out a few weeks ago. But when you start reading again, I know you're going to get in at least 15 minutes a day.
Yes.
What am I referring to?
The now July, August, September RAL.
Read along. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. There's a finish line thread in our Facebook group, and all the rules are there, as well as in our show notes.
GGKCS.com.
And then at the beginning, so by participating in the seasonal RALs, you earn entries into the year-long challenge. And at the beginning of 2022, which is only 6 months away. How did that happen? We will draw for 3 grand prize winners from the entries, and you could win a grand prize bundle. But so Dammy, because we've started the July, August, September, that means April, May, June ended. So first, let's give a shout out to those who finished. Actually, all of these finished all 91 of the days.
Yes.
Can you give them a
Yes. Alyssa L, Andrea J, Betty H, Brittany M, Jane S, Penny G S, Roberta B, Silver D, and Tyra J.
Great job. So they've already received their virtual badge and their coupon code, but 1, 2, 3 of these lovely folks are also going to win one of our ebooks. And so if you're one of the winners, I need you to email us at
ggkcspodcast@gmail.com
with which of our ebooks you would like. And you can find all of our ebooks by going to javapearldesigns.com and going to patterns and then choosing ebooks. So let us know which one you want. So Dammy, who are the 3 ebook winners?
Alyssa L, Roberta B, and Silver D.
Great job. And then in our other category, which is 60 to 86 of the 91 days, we had 2 people finish in that category, and they are
Kathy C and Rivi D.
And great job. And one of them is going to win one of our single patterns. And again, just email us, as Dammy said before, and go to our website and figure out which pattern you'd like and let us know. The winner of that is
Kathy C.
Great job. So again, Alyssa L, Roberta B, and Silver D, you won an ebook, and Kathy C, you won a single pattern. You have 30 days to claim your prize or you forfeit it. And yeah. So, all right, let's talk about what I've been reading. I'm still reading The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel van der Kolk, and I'm reading this as part of my counseling. I finished rereading Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Highly recommend it for my LGBTQ faith book club. And we just renamed it, and now I can't remember what it's called. I want to say Unashamed Love Collective. And then it's got a sub, but I can't remember what it is. I think that's right. Anyway, but we will be opening, so it opens every 6 months for new members. So when that happens, I've already been able to renew for season 3, but it's not open to the public yet. So I'll let you know when it's open to the public in case you're interested. So that was our June book. And so then for July, we are reading Becoming Eve, My Journey from Ultra-Orthodox Rabbi to Transgender Woman by Abby Stein. And I am really enjoying it so far. There is, did I make a mistake? Or can I not count this? That's probably more the problem is I can't count. Yes, I see what I did. Okay. I'm really enjoying this book. I did not know a lot about the ultra-orthodox Jewish faith. I can't think of what the other descriptive word they use is, but it is definitely really interesting to hear Abby's journey, because she started obviously when she was very young and is like telling us her story because it's a memoir. So yeah. And then for my other book club, the Lesbian Literature Book Club, I finished reading A People's History of Heaven by Mathangi Subramanian. And we have not met to discuss that yet. I think that's actually next weekend, maybe. So it was okay. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, everybody should read it, but I enjoyed it, so it'll be interesting to talk about. And then I finished reading The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. This took a turn I did not expect. It's a science fiction, because they're traveling to another planet where there's alien life, but it's got a lot of like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, well, I think when I talked about it last, I talked about that it was like going back and forth between times, like for the one survivor who had survived going to find this planet and these people, and back to like when they were planning it and when they made the trip and then like what happened. But like it took a turn that I did not expect. So it was definitely an interesting read, but yeah, I was excited to get to a little more fluffy reading. So I read Anne of Manhattan by Brenna Starler. This is a modern retelling of Anne of Green Gables, set in Manhattan. It does have some, I wouldn't say like older teen, adultish content. It's not like Outlander adult content, but there is, this is not a book I probably would have handed to you at like 6, 7, or 8, like I would have handed you Anne of Green Gables to read. But remember, Dammy's been reading since they were 3. So, so yeah. But it was cute. It was a cute retelling, and I did enjoy it. And then now I'm just started last night, Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall, and this is a male romance, and it's like I've only just barely gotten into it, but the main character needs to have a fake boyfriend to make his image better because he is hurting the charity that he is working for because of perceived things that are in the press because his father is a celebrity. So I just started that. We've been watching Law & Order Special Victims Unit season 21, almost caught up, and episodes for the That's Messed Up and SCU podcast, which is not safe for children. I'm also rewatching season 1 of Gilmore Girls with the I Am All In with Scott Patterson podcast, which I adore, love it very, very much. And then we're watching Grace and Frankie together. We finished watching season 5 and we're in season 6. And Gammy had to leave to go house pet sit with 2 episodes left in season 6. And then we have to wait for season 7. And I'm like dying to know what happened. But I have not watched. I did not cheat. But I really want to know what happened. And I forgot to put it in here, but I've been having a binge this weekend of Queer Eye, which I had never watched before. And I watched the very first episode I watched was one that actually Yuko had suggested to me, my friend from Honeyberry Studios. And it just randomly, when I hit play on it, it happened to be the episode she suggested. And it was a queer man who is a priest. I want to say Lutheran church, maybe. But he was married to a woman and came out and divorced, and it was just like, it was a story that kind of, really tugged on my heartstrings because of the journey that I've been on. So, yeah, so I just, and every single one of them makes me cry because you're like, you see like, the journey they've gone through and what they're dealing with and everything. So it just makes me cry every time. So, But what are you watching over at your house sitting gig?
Secrets of Great British Castles on Netflix.
So what kind of secrets are you finding out?
It's just the history of them.
Okay. Yeah. Are there any like spooky secrets?
Not. Well, 2 children were murdered in one of them, and then buried under a staircase.
Were they trying to hide the fact that they were murdered?
It was Richard III's nephews, and one of them was in line to be king. I think it was Edward V, and like killed the 12-year-old Edward and his brother, but they didn't find this out until Charles II's time.
Oh wow!
So, yeah.
Yikes. Okay. Well, and then I've been listening to podcasts that I mentioned, as well as some other podcasts, but also my favorite murder podcast. It's been fun. Like they're doing this thing in, I think it's in June and July, where they're having someone come on as a guest host, and they pick their favorite Karen and their favorite Georgia murder that's been told, and so it's like a replay of old cases that we've heard before, but it's fun to listen to them again and to hear why they're different people's favorites and such, as well as random Spotify playlists. What about you, Dammy?
Cabin Pressure, Spotify.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's everything for this segment, so let's move on to the next one.
And now we're going to talk about our June, July, August.
Summertime and the living is easy. Ow.
Ow. So this runs through the 1st of June through the 31st of August. It is for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to summer. If you can't think of anything, you made it in the summer. There are a couple main rules, as there are in all our owls. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must be begun no earlier than the 1st of June and finished no later than the 31st of August. And each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single comment and thus a single photo in our Facebook FO thread. And you can feel free to polydip in other alongs as long as it fits in with their rules.
Make sure you fill out our Google form. There's a link to it in the show notes as well as in the Facebook group. This just helps us when we go to draw prizes at the end of the owl to make sure that you're getting a prize that you would actually use. Like, we don't want to send you yarn if you're not knitter, crochet, or weaver. So if you don't fill out the form, then you'll get what you get.
Yeah. Since it's the first podcast of the month, we're going to talk about prizes. Thank you so much to our prize donors. And if you'd like to donate a prize for this or a future owl, you can email us at ggkcspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. You want to start or you want me to?
I can start. So we have 2 skeins of 2-ply superwash undyed sock yarn. So it is a set of an undyed thing of sock yarn and Kool-Aid to dye it with. These are from Knit Crate, and 2 winners will each win 1 set of the yarn and Kool-Aid.
We have a skein of Mineville Wool Project Super Sock 8020 in the very descriptive 2909-36-4 colorway.
We have a wallet, which is really cutely designed, like a cross-stitch piece, and it says, "I'd rather be buying cross-stitch."
We have a braid of Countess Ablaze fiber in the Geeks Like Rainbows 2 colorway.
And we have a Yarn Squad drawstring backpack.
Yes. Thank you so much to our prize donors. We appreciate y'all. Love you very much. And yeah.
You must be a member of the GGKCS podcast group on Facebook in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you'd like to post your projects on social media. It's GGKCS Summertime 21. Our FO thread will be locked for comments the morning of the 1st of September, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And any winners have 30 days from the day the podcast goes live to claim their prize, or they forfeit it. There's also a chatter thread in the Facebook group. And people who finished projects in the past 2 weeks are Emily R., Jane S., Jen R., Jennifer B.H., Lisa L., Sarah G., Silver, Tracy O., and Tyra.
Great job, everybody. So keep working on those projects. You have a little under 2 months to go to get them finished and posted, and you might be a winner. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeks, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them. This week's question was originally asked and answered in 2017. Elizabeth asks, what got you interested in knitting preemie hats? Have you found a different place to send them since moving back to the U.S.?
So what got me interested in knitting preemie hats is in a former part of my life, I was a hospital chaplain. And one of my primary units was the neonatal intensive care unit at a hospital in Houston. And when I got sick with fibromyalgia and was not able to work as a chaplain anymore, it broke my heart to not have a way to like give back to those families. And so I tried to remember when I did it. Maybe in 2015. I'm not sure, but I designed the top-down preemie hat pattern and released it as a free pattern. You're more than welcome to download it on our website.
javapearldesigns.com.
And I started just knitting a preemie hat every week on Sundays, and I've donated them to a number of places. Right now, I have a bag in the top of my closet that I'm putting the preemie hats in because I want to donate them to the hospital that I work at, but they're not currently taking donations of hand-made items because of the COVID. So there's that, but also in the past, I have also donated to, hold on, I pulled up the website and I'm going to put it in the show notes as well. It's called Hats for Hope. And what they can do is you can email them, and if they have a place locally that you can donate your hats, they'll let you know. Or you can send your hats to them in Colorado, and they spread them throughout they spread them to hospitals throughout the U.S. I've also donated, I can't remember what the name of the organization was, but there's a similar organization in the UK when we lived in Scotland that I donated to. I would just suggest reaching out to your local hospital that has a NICU to see if they accept donated hand-knit preemie hats. I mean, right now they may not be because of COVID, but you can also like look on hospitals' websites, and typically I find information like through the volunteer services office. If you don't find information on the website, you can just like call the hospital operator and ask for the volunteer services office, and they should be able to either assist you or get you in contact with the right person who can help so that you can be able to donate. So I've done well over, I think over 300 preemie hats now over the years that I've knit and donated. So it's definitely something that is dear to my heart and that I will continue doing as long as I possibly can. So I'm working on one right now. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the question. Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
You can post it in our Ask the Geeks thread in our Facebook group or in the YouTube comments.
Yep. All righty. Well, let's move on to the next segment. And with that, we made it to the end of the show. Yay! Episode 450. We didn't do like a big celebration or anything for this episode, but our 9th podiversary is coming up at the end of August. So, Dammy, we should pull together some like giveaways or something for that. For when that happens. 9 years, Sammy and I have been doing this on an almost weekly basis. We've taken very few weeks off. So, yeah. So, reminder announcement. We are co-hosting the Pride Along with several other podcasters and folks. It started in May and it runs through the end of June next year. So well over a year. If you go to our show notes, there is a link to a YouTube video that explains it all. And our hashtag is hashtag GGKCS Pride Along 2122. Do we have any other announcements, Dammy? I don't think so. We'd like to say a huge thank you. We love y'all very much. Thank you for watching the podcast. If it wasn't for you watching, we wouldn't be recording. So we're grateful for every single one of you who is a part of our community, because we do feel like each of you, no matter if you, it doesn't matter if you've ever posted a comment or ever participated in Out, just watching, you're part of our community, and we're grateful for each of you. But an especially big thank you to those who support financially, because it does cost money to do a podcast. Primarily, our cost goes to sending out prizes and technology and such behind the scenes. If you want to support the podcast financially, there's a few ways you can do that. There's Patreon and YouTube Join, which are ways that you can pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives and earn rewards or perks based on the level you donate at. I will be doing rewards this week. So if you're expecting a reward, it'll be coming sometime this week. If you would like to know more or want to sign up, where should they go, Dammy?
Patreon.com/GGKCS, or click the join button under any of our YouTube videos.
Yes, what's another way?
There is a PayPal button in the slide bar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
Yes. We are bookshop.org affiliates, which is an organization that financially supports local independent bookstores, and we also earn a little commission if you buy something from our shop. Every week, I create a bookshelf of all the available books that we have read that week that are available on the bookshop website, but you're also welcome to just buy something from our shop. The website is at bookshop.org/shop/GGKCS. And we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first, click on the appropriate Amazon link to your shopping as normal. We earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. Dammy, tell them where to find us online.
You can find us at ggkcs.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc.
Podcasts, all those things. All right, well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely week ahead. Stay safe, stay healthy, get your vaccine if you have not gotten it yet and you're able to. Wear your mask as appropriate. And yeah, the world is slowly reopening, and so just, you know, I've heard so many people say, like, oh, good, we're going back to normal. But there's been so much happen in the last year and a half that there's a lot of things that we shouldn't go back to. And so just be aware of what's going on in the world around you, and be aware of things that maybe you need to change in your life and in the lives of those, you know, be aware of what's happening in the lives of those around you. And yeah, just be open to change and growth. It's important. And that was my TED Talk. Thank you for coming. All right. We hope you have a great week ahead. We will talk to you again soon. Have a great one. Happy crafting.
Bye.
Hi, baby. Are you in a box? Did Mama order a box just for you? Oh my goodness. Do you like this box? I think Mama ordered something else that she needed, and the box was just a nice extra for you. You're a sweet girl. You're a sweet girl. Yes, you are.